What's up, Force family? Welcome back to the channel. We are your Star Wars guys. We're the Star Wars guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Star Wars guys.
Your Star Wars guys. Bring them out, folks.
Hey.
We should go out to Star Wars Celebration. Go out and we'll announce ourselves. We go.
And now,
The Star Wars guys.
Star Wars
guys.
We don't
This is
edit
great.
anything.
We're leaving
We
it.
don't edit anything.
This is our best one yet.
Now.
That's still in
Welcome
there.
back to the Star Wars Guys podcast. We are your hosts, as always. I am Mike. This is Nate, and you know him well, Uncle. And we are here to briefly give a recap of some of the biggest announcements that happened this weekend at Star Wars Celebration. You might ask, were you guys at Star Wars Celebration? Is that why you are telling us the biggest announcements? Tell us, what was it like for you guys? Hold your horses. We weren't there. But we did have the use of Twitter.
We kept a close eye.
And unfortunately, there was a lot of, fortunately, a lot of people that we know and follow were there. So we were following closely to see some tweets. And, I was going to say, unfortunately, we weren't there. But we still had a good time watching some of the video that was available, some of the panel footage that ended up coming out, some of the trailers that were released, some that were not released. We tried to stay away from.
Yeah.
But I just, in general, try to stay away from grainy iPhone footage.
Yeah, I can't
wanna
do
ruin
it.
it.
Do it.
I want to see
I'll wait
it
for
in
the
all of
official
its,
drop.
I want to see it in all of its glory and the way it's meant to be seen.
That's
Right.
When I see official Star Wars account has released it to their YouTube channel
That's
or
when I
post on
watch it.
Twitter, that's free reign. We go.
Provided
and
we
watch
haven't
it.
already agreed, we're watching it together.
Right.
Exactly.
We wait for the
Right.
good stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm with you.
So we have a list of some of the major announcements that there was a lot that came out from this Star Wars
Was
celebration.
this a request from somebody that we react to? Or is this just our decision to react?
Just quick recap on
I
the
reacted.
things. You know.
I've reacted.
I've reacted.
Yeah,
No,
reacted.
just wanted to do
Never
a
like this
quick
before.
recap for everything that, all the big announcements at Star Wars Celebration. For you guys.
And we will say
One-stop shop.
there are some of these that we'll be talking about a lot in future podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Certain trailers that came out will give further in depth, especially as these shows get closer and some of the announcements that they announced when they get closer to those dates. We'll do a lot deeper dives, but we figure we give some highlights of some of the major things. So,
awesome.
Andor.
We
got a lot of Andor stuff, which was great. Andor trailer. We watched it. Brief, quick thoughts. I loved the Andor trailer. I thought it felt Rogue
very
One.
Rogue One.
Fantastic.
Rogue One.
It
Can't
looks as is expected. And again, nothing against the stuff shot on the volume.
Right.
This was shot in Europe, and you can tell it looks different. The stuff on the volume is great.
They wanted it to look like Rogue One, I feel.
It looks
Scope,
practical.
right.
It looks great. The scope of it feels big. And also the announcements of 12 episodes, 2 seasons, 12 episodes each, 24 episodes.
Leading all the way
Oh
up
my
to
goodness.
Rogue One.
Leading right up to Rogue One, they said. It would tie right into it. I believe they teased that K2SO would not be in season 1, but would be in season 2.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And then the
And
other
as much as I love
announcement
Jedi, it's nice to get a reprieve from
it is
to remember that they're mythical and mysterious and not everywhere.
Not everywhere. And we've talked about before
on
on our podcast. If you don't subscribe, you should. You should subscribe. It is the podcast you're looking for. It always goes there. Do it. Subscribe. We just want you to subscribe. We talked about one of the major tenets, one of the big parts of Star Wars. You've got the Jedi aspect of it, but you also got the Rebellion. And the Rebellion and the Empire, we always talk about. That's while I love
the Rebellion,
future
the
stuff,
Empire. Yeah.
that's a lot of the era that we're drawn to a lot of times. Not that I don't want us to expand. I do.
Right.
But give me that classic Stormtrooper. Give me the beginning of the Rebellion.
Right.
The dirtiness. I love that they talk about. The Rebellions are not clean.
Cassian is a great example of that, man.
Yeah, you gotta get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
So I love the.
I'm excited for it. Can't
the
wait.
moral
That hits
ambiguity. August 31st. That's coming so soon.
August
When
31st.
you think of, we've just started at the time of this recording. We've watched the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep.
And this is coming. We now know Bad Batch is coming in the fall.
Right.
Also, probably right after. Big announcement. Andor trailer. Love it. A Mando season 3 trailer teaser. A trailer was shown there. I heard that the first day they showed a short teaser, and then the following couple days later on the Mando panel they showed a much longer trailer.
Yep.
I read a synopsis of it.
I did as well.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm waiting for the official. I'm waiting for it.
All right. Well, we will not discuss the specifics of the trailer until
it's kind of like it
comes
felt
out.
like I was
Waiting
kind
for
of
it to
like
officially
reading
drop.
the script.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
I got some of the. I didn't see the visuals.
I saw that they had shown it, but I didn't want to look
Yeah,
up
I
any
think
videos
Uncle
or
saw
anything.
a similar thing to me of like, here's kind of the breakdown of the people that were shown. Here's the thing.
I mean, I
So,
saw some characters that they announced would be back for it and stuff like that.
Coming 2023, February 2023, I believe is what they announced for that. So that's coming, again, beginning of the new year.
Yep.
Bad Batch Season 2 trailer, which we just reacted to.
Yep.
Fall 2022. Again,
Coming up.
This
Coming
we've
up.
got stuff coming.
I love
Obi-Wan, Andor, Bad
Yeah.
Batch. I love it. I'm so excited for Bad Batch. Favreau announced today, I believe they announced, he's already writing Season 4. So Season 3 is coming, and the Season 4 is already confirmed. He's already writing Season 4. So they are confident. Obviously, why wouldn't you be confident in The Mandalorian at this point?
Man.
Are they gonna? I'm wondering if they're gonna do this Breaking Bad style, where they have the story done and they're just gonna finish the
They
series.
just finished.
Finish
They
it.
have
I
their
think so.
episodes.
It
They
doesn't
don't
feel
draw
like
it
it's
out.
gonna. It's
I think
gonna,
so. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a 7 series show.
No.
This
Or
is not The Simpsons. We're
7
gonna go for
season show.
35.
Yeah.
It's gonna. They
Feels
have
like
a
they're gonna tell their
storyline.
story.
Yeah. I think so.
I
Yeah,
think you're
so.
right.
Yeah.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka is now filming.
Yeah.
And the first day, they
Big
had,
news with Ahsoka.
Yeah, and the first day they initially talked
Huge.
a little bit about Ahsoka, but not much. And Rosario Dawson had a message that said, "Hey, we're in the middle of." It showed her in her costume, and she's like, "We're in the middle of filming Ahsoka, so I couldn't be there. My love, thanks to everybody." They then showed Ahsoka footage,
Yeah.
which again I still haven't seen yet. There were some stills
haven't
that came
seen
out
that.
of some pictures.
Don't want to.
And then Rosario Dawson and Chopper came out on stage.
Yeah, she called out her friend Chopper.
And
No way.
They confirmed, right? The some of the cast.
They
I
did.
can't remember they had it had been previously reported who was playing Sabine. I
Right.
can't remember the actress's name, but she came out on stage.
Mhm.
And
But
then,
aside from that, they also confirmed the big news too that Hera Syndulla is going to
Hera
be in
Syndulla.
it.
Yep.
Ezra. I mean, we all
Ezra?
assumed Ezra was probably going to be in it.
That's right.
Ezra, Sabine, and
it
now
certainly
Chopper.
seems like it's
I also read a synopsis of that
yeah.
sneak peek that they showed,
Mhm.
and Hera was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that too. I also heard maybe I shouldn't say. Actually, this was referring to the Mando trailer. So I'll stay away
Don't
from
tell
it.
me. I don't
I'll
want to know.
stay away. I'll stay away again when some of that stuff comes
Yeah.
more open to the public. We'll talk about it more.
Because
But
I want
that's
to do a reaction to it.
Yeah.
filming now, coming 2023. So that's
Yeah.
officially 2023. Filoni will quote direct multiple episodes
Ooh.
of Ahsoka,
Yeah.
Imagine that.
which
Of course.
he's like, and by multiple I mean all of them.
Multiple.
Yeah.
He's like, if it's Ahsoka, it's mine.
Speaking of Filoni,
Yes.
is that what coming next?
Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, this was actually
Follow your,
John. Well, there's another Filoni thing on
Johnny
my
Fab.
list in a little bit, but John Watts.
Oh.
John Watts' show, the new Star Wars
Yeah.
show that had been talked about and had been rumored for a while of Stranger Things meets Star Wars, as far as a show
Youth
where
cast.
a lot of the cast would be
Yeah.
younger kids. Finally announced Star Wars Skeleton Crew,
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton
also
Crew.
coming 2023. 2023 is
Man.
already filling up.
That's going to be sweet.
Coming 2023, they got into. They
Man.
showed some of the visual concept art for that, which looks really
I also
cool.
love that this hadn't been leaked.
Hadn't been
Yeah,
leaked. There
that's
were
great.
rumors about him possibly. I mean,
Working on stuff, but-
So John Watts, for people who don't know, directed and did the entire Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy, which we love. Spider-Man: No Way
Mhm.
Home. This is
Yeah.
Far From Home and
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
was
There
in
it
there.
is.
Yeah.
So, and then I believe he's the one who's also, he recently dropped out of Fantastic Four. And people were like, well, why is he dropping out of Fantastic
I
Four?
guess
He's got this thing with Star Wars going
Yeah.
on. And so, yeah,
Love
this
it.
is something that they had him come, he was talking about it. It sounds like this is something that is like right in his wheelhouse. He talks about like these types of stories. He's very excited about it. He talked about how he's been working on this for a while as far as like ideas
Man.
for it. The quotes were like he pitched the idea to Lucasfilm and they immediately were like, this is fantastic idea.
nice.
Great.
About like Jedi on, or not Jedi, sorry. Youngsters on a mission get lost in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Have to find their way back.
And taking
stumble
place
on stuff.
in Mandoverse time period.
Mandoverse. This is
Yeah.
after Fall of the Empire.
Cool.
But and then the other quote from that is that he said, while it revolves a lot around kids, this is not a kids show. So he wanted to be very clear
It's
on
a
that.
Stranger Things analogy.
Feels like Stranger Things of like.
Yeah.
No one who watches Stranger Things. I haven't seen the newest season yet. I know Nate
That's
has.
a good, great kids show.
But that's not a kid's show.
No.
That's not a kid's show. It's
No,
barely
no,
even
no.
a show for my wife. My wife is like, I get nightmares from watching Stranger
Right.
Things sometimes because of how, obviously how just dark some of the stuff is.
How strange it is.
How strange it is. And I've seen some Stranger Things.
I've seen some strange things.
But that's exciting. And then the big announcement there, Jude Law. Jude Law starring in this, which also makes you wonder, like, what is Jude Law in the show about kids?
Right.
Jude Law is
I know.
one of the big stars. What is?
Right.
So I love Jude Law is
Yeah.
great in just about everything. So that's exciting stuff. We'll keep moving on. Taika Waititi is officially the next Star Wars film.
Mhm.
Yep.
Very hush hush. Not much stuff on
I
film.
Didn't reveal a title, did
I'll,
they?
I'll
Did
be
it?
honest. This is the one thing I predicted that
we might hear-
that we obviously
hear
did
something
not
about
get. That we would get a movie title or like.
I told you what it is.
date
I'll
or
leave
something.
my
No.
title alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Jar Jar Rabbit.
This is Jar Jar Rabbit.
Jar Jar Rabbit.
It's such a great.
Star Wars
title.
Ragnarok. That was the other.
That's
good.
Star Wars Love and Thunder. It's all.
Star Wars Love and Thunder.
It's
Oh,
so
man.
good. Star Wars Love and Jedi. It's just like.
Yeah.
But
What
that
else we got?
is interesting though that we didn't get much more stuff on the news. A lot
Yeah.
more shows, and we'll get to some more
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
stuff.
It's paying the
But they're
bills.
taking their time, and they're taking their time with the film. I
Shows
think
are
they've
paying the
also
bills.
learned from in the past of maybe don't until stuff is really locked down. Not just we
Yeah.
have a director attached to a thing, but like we have a
Right.
script, we have a plan of when it's starting. Here's the release date. I think they're
Right.
trying to get away from announcing. Patty Jenkins has a Star Wars film. Ryan Johnson has a Star Wars film,
Right.
and
And
then
then
having
falling through
some
and
stuff
things,
fall through. There were some quotes during this time period as well of Kathy talking about Ryan Johnson's Star Wars trilogy that had been proposed in the past, and she said very much, we still talk with Ryan a lot. That has not been officially canned or anything, but
Right.
it's kind of pushed to the side, put on the, I believe the quote
Back
put on the
burner.
back burner for now, because specifically just because Ryan is a very busy guy
Yeah.
with his Knives Out. She
Netflix.
specifically mentioned Knives Out in his
Mm-hmm.
Netflix deal, that it's just simply that he hasn't had time to focus on any of
Yeah.
that Star Wars stuff. But I did love that they were like, we still actually collab with him and talk about it for creative ideas, and he's still very much part of the, I wouldn't say the inner circle of like he's
Yep.
not in there in the day-to-day stuff with Favreau and Filoni, but it's like when we have our brain trust of filmmakers, like we bounce
in there.
What
ideas
did
off
Ryan
him.
think
Yeah.
about this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that. I
Brilliant.
love that.
Yeah.
That's something that
Yeah.
that they still talk to him about that
For
stuff. So
sure.
that's interesting. Lando, she was asked specifically about whether or not
Mhm.
any update on the Lando show, and she
Mhm.
said, "If I could do that show tomorrow, we would." The truth of the matter is, there's no progress on that right now because Donald Glover's an extremely busy guy. He's got his own show, Atlanta, that he's like the creator
Yeah.
and star of, and all this stuff. He does music stuff. He's got a lot of things going on. If we could do it, if we could do it tomorrow, I'd love that. Right now, there's no the ball. She actually said he holds all the cards on this. The ball's kind of in his court.
Wow.
It's just he's too busy right now to really do that. So there's not really any. Makes it sound like may not even be a few years if
Yeah,
it does
maybe,
happen
yeah,
at all.
If it does happen.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. She said he holds all the cards in that. Like
Yeah.
basically, we want him, but we'll see if that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Still going along. Some new stuff.
Visions, right?
Visions Volume 2.
Visions
Season
Volume
2.
2.
Really?
Yeah.
Coming.
Wow.
What
All
did
right.
That was
they say?
announced today.
Spring 2023.
Man.
And again, 2023.
Man.
Holy
2022
cow.
is already crazy. Book of Boba. Obviously, currently doing Kenobi,
And we
Andor,
got
and
Bad
Bad
Batch
Batch.
coming.
2023 is wild right now.
Yeah.
Also, that Taika film, she
Supposed to
said
be-
there's no specific date because she was pressed on it. It will be the December release date. She said we don't have the specifics other than we're aiming for late 2023, which is next year.
That makes sense. You got to fall in between Avatar now.
Now you really
Yeah,
do.
True.
Because they're going to, 2 years for Avatar?
Yep.
22,
Yeah.
24.
Mhm.
So you got to get in between there.
Yeah. So that's
Anyway.
they're scheduling around that. That's what they're
Yeah.
shooting for. It sounds
Cool.
like.
Cool.
Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. There's a new show.
Oh, yeah.
We'll follow younglings training during the High Republic era.
Yeah.
Which people are excited about
Saw
that
that.
of High
That's
Republic
gonna be
stuff
cool.
is been
Yeah.
crushing it in the publishing side, but obviously
Right.
we haven't gotten
Right.
a lot of the like visually. So that's
That
exciting.
reminds me of the other one, too, Tales of the Jedi.
I'm getting to that
That's
as
what I
well.
thought.
Tales of the Jedi.
So this was the Young Jedi Adventures coming spring 2023.
Hmm.
Sound familiar? Spring
How can that
2023.
be? How did they
Everything's
do it?
2023.
Yeah.
Coming to Disney Plus. Then Tales of the Jedi. This was big. Fall
Yeah.
2022.
What in the world?
This
I
year.
know.
In the fall. We have Andor,
I know.
August, so essentially September, like September, October. We've got Bad Batch season 2, and now I will say what it sounds like for this. I believe they said this is only 6 episodes.
And this sounds really cool.
This is 6 episodes,
Mhm.
anthology series. This is they showed, and again I didn't see the footage. There were some stills that came out of this.
Yeah.
Did you see any of the pictures of that?
I didn't see any of it. Actually, that's a lie. I scrolled past it, but because I noticed what it was, but I saw a little glimpse of what they showed.
They showed
I
an
tried to avoid
entire.
it, so I
Apparently,
got-
they showed an entire episode
Yeah.
at Celebration. People were like, it
What?
was awesome.
Yeah.
It's not a
Covering-
spoiler, but they showed an Ahsoka episode.
Yeah, they showed an Ahsoka episode. The
Oh,
other characters they had
man.
mentioned that are going to be involved are like, so it's not going to be a continuous story. I
Yeah.
don't think it's like
Yeah, it's like-
little shorts. So
like
it'll be
throughout
like
their
Qui-Gon
life
Jinn, Count Dooku,
Young, and they
and
did.
it said prequel era Jedi.
Oh
So
my
this is not a
God.
spoiler because they had it. This isn't even part of their trailer, but they also just showed concept art and like pictures of.
Yeah.
They showed young Dooku.
Yeah.
They showed young Qui-Gon.
Oh man.
They showed what they and the artwork looks. It's like the Clone Wars style of
Yeah.
which is they just why mess with it on that stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff looks
animation's great.
The animation. So
Yeah.
that's exciting.
You
It's
think the
Filoni
gem of this
doing it.
idea came from Caleb from watching in Bad Batch when we saw the young Kanan there?
It
wonder-
could be. I
And they're
saw.
like, oh, fill in the gap. This is your thing. Fill in
Like,
the gaps.
connections.
I saw
connections.
that it was Filoni. Filoni said that because this is Filoni's thing. Like Filoni is the one
I think I know what
completely
you're
running
saying.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
He said he wrote this, flying back and forth, commuting
yeah.
back and forth, while doing all the Mando stuff.
Jeez.
And then he's like, the ideas come to me, and I would
this
get on
guy,
there,
he
and I
just
would
lives
just.
and breathes Star Wars. It's amazing. I love it.
So I love that he came up with another, and it sounds like the people who saw it, they're like, oh, even though this might not be a long-lasting thing this first season,
Mhm.
like the idea of it
The idea is
is
great.
great. Give me it. It also showed, and it's not a spoiler, but like some other characters that were also involved, along with the young Dooku stuff and young Qui-Gon stuff, is a younger Mace Windu.
Yeah.
There's other characters
Yeah.
who surround
Man,
this
Cool.
that time period.
That's
Um,
sweet. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be
it's
sweet.
gonna be great.
So
See
like,
Dave doing animation again is gonna be cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he's obviously done so much with the live action stuff now that
His transition was
stepping
going
back.
from animation to live action.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
like his. bread and
that's
butter,
his
man.
that's his
His
thing he's
wheelhouse.
been doing for
Yeah.
years.
Can't wait to see it.
Last couple of things here, because there was just some more specifics as far as I screenshot some of these messages.
Yeah,
of
you,
some of
you
the
shot
stuff, but
some
I-
of them our way.
But I got to make sure that I don't spoil any of these that are. Okay, well, this is just interesting. Some interesting quotes. Pedro Pascal was asked whether the Mandalorian would appear in a Star Wars movie, and I actually watched his. It's a video interview, and he's
Mhm.
not like absolutely it's happening. This and he goes, "Well, I don't know. I mean, I think to me it seems like it's inevitable. No." And that was his thing. As he said, I feel like it's
Oh, wow.
inevitable. No, it feels like it's got to be building. He's like
So you're saying
it's
a
becoming
movie that's
such
gonna
a big
take place
thing.
in that time period.
And
Wow.
Dave did say
That's
again
big.
in this post when they're talking about the skeleton crew that takes place in the Mandoverse as far as
Yeah.
this time period. And they did hint again that like these things would all connect eventually in something. So you do
Right.
wonder if it's like, is this like an Avenger? And again, people use the Avengers as like the example
right.
of like
The MCU Marvel
the MCU.
connection,
You've
yeah.
got the individual one-off movies that then lead into
They
like
tie
the solo
together.
movies. But Ahsoka is in that time period. You've got which now is like Rebels, Rebels 2.0,
That's what I said.
live
Rebels
action
season
Rebels.
5.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got that time period. Obviously, the Rangers of the New Republic stuff that kind of went out the window. But
Mhm.
I could totally see whatever they had there as an idea. They weave in. You don't need necessarily the Cara Dune character to
Right.
do that. I do believe Carson Teva is coming back as far as
Yeah.
Mando season 3 stuff,
Mhm.
like just state of the galaxy at that time
Yeah.
period.
Right.
And then with the young kids now, it's like you wonder how this all ties together.
Be in and out of those.
Um,
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's this big thing they're setting up. And then there are other things
Cool.
throughout Celebration that are a little bit smaller
Yeah.
those are some of the big the big announcements of new shows, new nothing from Acolyte. Didn't get anything from Acolyte, which I thought was a little surprising.
The week before Celebration, they did have some confirmation in that magazine about how it is High Republic era, and it's going to take place 100 years before the prequels.
And Acolyte is,
but
if anyone's worried about any lack of stuff, you don't need to. They've already announced some cast for Acolyte.
Yeah.
They've already announced some people
I can't wait for this.
who have or who are a part of it. So that's
Sith driven, right?
Yeah, that's dark side driven right there. So that's exciting.
Our side. Wait, what?
Our side.
Our side.
Whoa.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
I've always been drawn to the dark side.
What?
It's faster.
What's George's quote? Is like
it's faster.
George's quote was just bad guys are better toys. That was George's thing about it. He's like the bad guys have the cooler toys.
They do.
So yeah, people are drawn to Darth Vader, drawn to do I want to just hang out with Palpatine? Not really.
No.
But do I want to have a little figure?
But do I want to be his apprentice? Sure.
I mean,
what?
As long as he teaches me everything he knows.
There are no rules.
Anything else? What else
we don't have rules.
That's pretty much it. There's a lot. I mean, there were smaller things as far as just like fun quotes and different things that people. John Williams came out and did the
Obi-Wan score,
the Obi-Wan thing, and he had
cool.
Harrison came out.
I saw that
on stage for his 90th John Williams' 90th birthday, and
they
did the
clip
indie
for India.
Yeah,
they
did the indie music as he's coming out, and Harrison took the microphone and said, That music follows me everywhere.
Yeah.
Even when I got my colonoscopy.
He did?
That's what Harrison said.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was great. It's like, it's but then he said,
I like this.
And he said, and I love it. So we've all known, for those who are Star Wars fans and indie fans, Harrison has always seemed a little more fond of the indie character.
Yeah.
Character.
Yeah. Is anybody going to tell him that the same guy?
Yeah, it's the same to say that's
right.
it's the same creative drive behind it all, too.
We like both.
They also showed some Willow.
Did show some Willow.
The celebration for the Lucasfilm panel. They showed some Willow
congrats
stuff.
to Warwick Davis.
We saw the new trailer on there.
Yeah. The trailer's up.
Yeah.
Who's in it?
Great.
Empress Ness.
Empress
Yes.
Ness.
Yeah.
I didn't know her name. I was like, oh,
she's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There was also cool. They showed, I believe, part of the. They showed an interview involved with the ILM documentary coming out. If you heard about this,
yeah,
the 6-part ILM documentary directed by Lawrence Kasdan.
Oh,
that's
you're
gonna be
kidding.
I can't wait to watch that. That comes out soon.
Man.
Like the summer, and it's the start of
how it
ILM.
started.
And so it's much more than obviously just talking Star Wars, but I believe, especially this day and age, there's going to be some interviews with George Lucas on there. There's going to be. This is Kasdan too.
He created the
this
thing.
This is Lawrence Kasdan, who's got a relationship with Lucas and obviously doing Empire and all that stuff. So that's, and then there was a lot of cool stuff with ILM, but there was a lot of the big names you've heard throughout, the Empire of Dreams documentary, and like all of these guys who have been around, these producing guys and people who are with them from the beginning, and some of these guys there, the head special effects guys at ILM. Yeah. They showed little clips of their interviews with that, but that's like a six-part documentary on ILM. Sounds fascinating to me too.
I just love the behind the scenes stuff.
Some of the technical stuff, and you guys know, like,
it's going to go beyond everything. It's going to go Jurassic Park. You got all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to see how, we don't get the Avengers. We don't get
any of that.
I mean, Jon Favreau's talked about, and he mentioned it again at the panel for Mandalorian, that he and Filoni have known each other going back to, because he was when he was doing Iron Man. He used to sound mix at Skywalker Sound. Sound at the ranch is where he went in to do the sound mixing and editing there.
Okay.
And Favreau says that, and Dave confirmed it. Favreau said, "Yes, I'm actually the first person outside of Lucas and Filoni to ever see Clone Wars." And that's how I got a voice in Clone Wars, as I watched what they were doing in there, and I told Dave, by the way, you ever need any one-off, you never need some character voices, just let me. And he said, literally because of that, we're now doing The Mandalorian together, 15 plus years later.
That's great.
Was just because but that just shows the tie of, you don't think necessarily Marvel and tie it to Lucas. It's Skywalker Sound is where they're doing all. Is where they're doing all this stuff.
Man,
it all ties together.
George brings it all together.
All together. So yeah, there's stuff I missed too. There's smaller things, but those are a lot of the big.
And I didn't
lot
make
of
a
the big
Star Wars
announcements
guys
right there.
booth announcement, but
Yeah,
we're gonna bust it to go to London, aren't we?
I'd love to.
Can't we do it?
blimey,
I'd love to try.
We could do it. I mean, if we're gonna drop some coin, we might as well go across the pond.
Drop some
I like it.
That's
Where did that
We'll
come
try-
from?
Hey, that's
Hey,
our
we're
goal.
gonna have to
So
cross
with
the
that
pond.
said, our
Have some
donation
coin.
thing is in.
I mean, we're gonna go to LA. Let's go the other way.
Yeah.
Why'd that all of a sudden go Dennis Miller? Drop some coin. It's like I feel like it was Dennis Miller talking with Dana
I don't know.
Carvey's gonna drop some
Felt like
coin.
I was reaching for it. I thought that
I
sounds
love
pretty
it.
good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a grab and drive past the pond.
I love it.
I don't know.
Drop some coin.
Well,
There's a lot. There's a lot to get to
Okay.
a Star Wars Celebration.
Star Wars
right.
guys.
I mean, obviously, one of our goals, our bucket list items, is to make it a Star Wars Celebration. So hopefully, we can make it next year. But as for this year, 2022, there's a little recap for you, all the big announcements that took place at Star Wars Celebration. So if you weren't able to go or you've been trying to track everything online, there you go. We wanted to lay it all out for you in a simple, quick video, just kind of recap everything that happened the last 4 days. So there you have it, Star Wars Celebration. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on our future videos and live podcast episodes. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And as always, may the Force be with you.
I'm sorry, Master, but I couldn't make it to Celebration this year. Perhaps in London.